We're now joined by Honorable Dr. Babu Owino. Good morning, Dr. Babu. CBK has hit borrowers with the highest lending rate at 13%. What's your reaction to this?
Thank you very much, Comrade Chacha. Good morning to Ruth, Comrade Ruth. Good morning to my colleague and Comrade David Kiplagat, and also good morning to my other great friend, Honorable Julius. First of all, I'm so disappointed when Honorable David Kiplagat is saying that we are doing well as a nation. And that aside, let me now never lose the sight of a gazelle for a dashing squirrel. So, number one, I want to explain this issue of the CBR. And I want to start by asking a question that what is the CBR rate? And answering it by saying that the CBR rate is the rate at which the central bank gives loans to the commercial banks. And this is a contractionary monetary policy whose main aim is to ensure that there is no money supply domestically. And the long-term effect of this is the reduction of the aggregate demand. Where do commercial banks get its money? From three sources. Number one, commercial banks get money from the deposits. Number two, from the interbanks borrowing at the rate that they have as banks. And number three, from the central bank at the central bank rates. Now, this is in history the highest ever in Africa rate that has risen to 13%. Even during Kibaki's time, the highest that ever was at 9%. And as at that time, the dollar moved from 85.5 shillings to 107 shillings. But the economy stabilized and the dollar now was just fluctuating, moving from around 85 to between 100. And life was all merry. What about in our situation where we are moving it to 13%? What are the effects of this? Number one, with the increased central bank rates, number one, there will be reduction. There will be high cost of production, number one. Number two, businesses, that is in the agricultural sector, high cost of production. In the manufacturing sector, what is likely to happen is that industries will close down. When they close down, there will be high rate of unemployment. That kills our economy, that kills our GDP. Number three, now, there will be increased prices of goods. The moment their goods increases, the prices of goods increases, there will be low demand. With the low demand of the local goods, there will be low domestic absorption, which is dangerous for our economy. And the moment there is low demand for domestic goods, we will create high demand for foreign goods. So the reason why we are doing this is that, the reason why we are increasing this is to promote consumption of foreign goods. With the consumption of foreign goods, we will increase the import absorption, which is very, very dangerous to our economy. Therefore, what are we trying to do as a nation with by the time we are increasing the imports in this by the time we are increasing the consumption of imports in Kenya? What we are trying to do is to go back to why we were colonized. Why we were colonized? The main reason why we were colonized, Chacha, is because the West wanted raw materials from African countries cheaply, therefore we are exporting cheaply. And number two main one is so that we create markets for their imports. And that is what we are still doing up to date, which is neocolonialism. So therefore, we are not stimulating the domestic production, but we are increasing the consumption of the imports, the goods which are not produced locally. And therefore, what I can say, Church, is that the president, and I still insist, in his wisdom or lack of the same, is destroying this nation, has become what we call in Latin, hostis humani generis, hostile to human race, hostile to mankind. And whether a frog falls on fire or a fire falls on a frog, either way the frog will get burnt. So Kenyans are getting burnt because of the wrong decision that we made. And therefore, I request the president to sit down. He's already the president. Take charge of this nation. Let the citizens not suffer because we want to please the West. Thank you.